Hey guys.
Good evening and welcome to Tracy and Friends, the PM edition. And I've got a friend with me today. Her name is Shirley Husar. I'm going to pronounce that wrong.
Husar. Like Husar.
Husar.
Yeah.
Husar.
Like Husar.
Urban Game Changers. And we're going to sit here and enjoy some time talking politics. Black women talking Republican politics, Black women talking about 21st century politics, hanging out, what we think, where we are, where we're going, why we support Donald Trump, what we think about what's going on. We're just going to have a good girlfriend conversation.
I put my title, Black Don't Crack. Black women.
Black don't crack.
Black don't crack. And we cut to the chase. We straight. I could have put straight chocolate, like coffee chocolate. You know, I came out of my hole. I was good in my hole. And Tracy called me out of my hole. I was like,
come out the hole. Pull your mic in.
Pull my mic in. Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay.
Is
that better?
That's better.
Okay.
So tell me.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Urban Game Changers so people will know who Shirley is.
Excellent. My name is Shirley.
Pronounce her last name right.
Okay. My name is Shirley Husar, as you can see down there. You will Urban Game Changers. Urban Game Changers is where we go into urban communities and we hold elected officials accountable. We are now all across the country and we are almost in almost 50 states, which is great, meaning that we have executive directors or we have boots on the ground people telling us what is happening in your community, in your state, from California, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas, all over. African-American people are hurting right now. We're at 6% in California, but in the South, the numbers are much stronger. So our job is to inform, to educate, and to bring awareness of what is happening within a culture of people, especially the descendants of slaves. I can trace my answers back to 1854, and I can go back to 1619. So I'm a descendant of slaves. I'm not an immigrant. I'm not illegal. I'm not a migrant. I am someone that came here unwillingly and unwantedly of a culture of people. But we are now here. We are Americans, and we are making our voice known today. And I'm with my favorite friend, Tracy. We've known each other for years. Tracy is empowering. She knows what she's talking about. And so many years that people don't realize the true power in the conservative party. We're not just people who came along during the Trump train. We are real conservative Black women, Republican women that will be here even when the president finishes out his second term as presidency of these United States.
So now I have a question for you.
Yes.
You said a whole lot.
I did a whole lot.
And you said a whole lot. You said Black people are hurting right now.
Yes.
Is that true?
That's absolutely true.
Where are they hurting?
They're hurting in Los Angeles. They're hurting in Texas. If we start in Los Angeles, a large portion of our people are now being pushed out. They have started evictions. When they told people they will not be evicted, and they are being evicted, they're being put on the streets. Our numbers have tripled and doubled.
Slow down, Shirley, because we got some time here. Because see, are they being evicted because they didn't go out and work? Are they being evicted because they took the unemployment and said this is a good deal because it was free money? Why are they getting evicted right now? And why are they not putting I thought there was a moratorium on evictions and stuff.
It's supposed to be a moratorium, but a lot of these landlords are Chinese. And
Chinese rules don't agree?
Well, the landlords, if you're a landholder and you're a landlord, you were supposed to be able to get some type of arrangement with your mortgage provider. But you got to remember, a lot of these foreign people come here with cash. They don't have a mortgage provider, or their mortgage provider they're fighting with and not wanting to give them any kind of money. And they're not getting any relief because they're not American citizens. So the landlord's not getting the relief, and the only relief that they can get is from the tenant. So these are not just Black people being put out. We're seeing a lot more white people of homeless people downtown LA. But what we're seeing now is more white and Black furniture, dogs, rats. Rats the biggest size of like a shoe, like your shoe. If you look at your shoe, that's what you're looking at. A big rat downtown LA. So yes, we have our infrastructure in our inner cities are corrupt and they're broken. and there's nothing being done. I've said this for years now that we need to have circumventing. We need the federal government to circumvent the state, and they need to send in law and order and correct local government because they don't care for the well-beings of the people. In Texas, in Temple, Texas, I can tell you, not Temple, Taylor. In Taylor, Texas, I'm working with a lady named Zoe. She has a nonprofit, and she's telling me that the Black people are taking jugs of water into their homes because the city will not give them money to help them, assist them with their plumbing issues in their home. And these are elderly Black people with tarps on top of their roofs, and the fact that they're putting more money in the road of, I think it's 35 that's near that town, where they're not giving them the money to really save their homes. And of course, investors come in and take them.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So who are these people voting for?
Biden.
Okay. Why?
Why? Well, I'm a Republican. I wish I knew the answer.
No, I'm serious. I'm
a
serious.
stale-minded person. I think. Okay.
Why are Black people? Why are Black women? Why are so many people so adamant and so engaged that they got to have Biden? African American, no matter what their social economic status, no matter where they are, the cross section of them are still on the Biden Democrat, they gonna love me train.
Absolutely.
But why? Okay, so you're telling me that they're thinking about getting evicted. They're telling me that they're having issues. And if you look at...
They won't let you go to church. So they can't go to church.
I don't know how church became inessential, but you can go to ball games, you can go to bars.
Right, you can get on a plane.
You can go to a plane and sit next to
you can fly overseas.
But you can't go to church.
You can't go to church.
Can't go to church.
And they're burning Bibles.
And why is the church support the Black church? Why are they supporting?
Because they're ignorant. Look, you got people in this country who think they know politics now that COVID has taken place and they've stayed home, and they have listened to CNN, they have listened to the local congressmen and governors and mayors, stay home, which they're not doing, wear a mask in public, which they may do that, but they're hanging there, especially with the immigrants in California and the illegals. These are not naturally clean people anyway, because they're willing to do open selling and food in the street and all that. They got back out there selling their food again. Ain't nobody regulating that about putting a mask on or washing your hands. We have a really nasty state. Now, as far as we're talking about, let's go back to Black people. There's a generation of age gaps. The new generation is very tech savvy and very conscious savvy. So I would not say a large portion of the younger generations voting, but anybody 40, 50 on up, they are just I saw a video where this old Black lady was laying hands saying, don't listen to Trump. Biden, keep talking. We love you, Biden. Yes, Mr. Biden. They're just so ignorant to the fact that this man is corrupt. He's probably put your grandson in jail. He's a hypocrite, because if you're going to sit back and allow your children, your crackhead son, to do drugs, but yet this lady's son gets arrested for an ounce of weed, these people don't know why they're voting. They're just voting because it's Democrat. Well, that gets old. You cannot be that irresponsible in your voting. But again, there are people who are like that. And so I believe irresponsible acts, not studying, not understanding government, just going with the flow. That's why.
And this is my problem. I'm looking at a lot of preachers. I'm looking at a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who Bible. There are people that, when you ask them the chapter and a verse inside the Bible, you really should not dispute what it says and or their interpretation.
I agree with that.
But they cross over into the political scheme, they never come and ask you, what should we do? They don't even think about what's going on. They just automatically jump on whoever comes and talks to them that gives them almost, the Bible says, in the last day they will have itching ears.
Interesting.
And they'll be gleaning lies. Is that not true?
You said in itching ears. Where's that scripture in? You said the last days people.
Okay, let's try this again. I'm a preacher, but I'm not that good. I got to look it up on the internet.
But you said itching ears. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Say it again. Itching ears and what else?
Itching ears, and they'll believe fables. They'll believe lies.
Interesting.
They like things that feel good, smell good, but they're not going by anything that has any substance.
No.
Think about it this way. What scripture in the Bible can you align with anything that's inside of the Democrat platform? And a friend of mine said that, so I'm not going to take it as
that's something that you would ask each one of these ministers that. That's a good question.
And so I think it's a great question. And if you listen to them, I am watching them from the pulpit, and I know that the Johnson Amendment was lessened and loosened because of President Trump. Because remember, the Johnson Amendment said because if you were a nonprofit, you could not talk about politics in the pulpit at all.
No, and he said, like 2016, when we were at the inauguration, we were at the convention. He said that he was going to do that. He was going to change that law, and he did. He was a man of his word, and he did. And he made.
And now that he did, they're using it against him.
I don't think they understand that it's being enforced. You know, I don't know if we need to send letters out to the pastors and say, hey, look, you know, it's you can go ahead and talk about politics now. Because that was the place the church, see, for those who are not Black watching this show, thank y'all for watching. Make sure you follow Tracy and me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I know y'all understand you like us because we Black conservatives. Some of y'all are haters because, you know, me and Tracy, we cut to the chase. We just ain't that kind of these sisters that sit back and just are like, oh, Trump. No, we understand history. We understand politics.
We're not very polished. We just.
Oh, no, we're polished. We're just straightforward. It's like, you know, you want some tequila, you want some vodka, you know, unless you want
coffee.
Straight black coffee.
Sugars. I know what I want.
Black coffee, just straight. You know, there are people who watch us now. They're straight shooters. I admire you straight shooters. I love you straight shooters. But, you know, there's other people that need a little sugar and passive aggressive and not intimidating. They want that kind of person that just, you know, says we all are kumbaya people. Well, that's not the reality that we're talking on this show today.
Let me say it this way, Shirley. Because we've given up our freedoms, I believe we don't realize that we're giving up our realness. Okay. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, the only comic that could actually be up now is Bill Cosby, and they put him in jail.
Right.
Because every other Black comic that I know of that we grew up on could not have been on stage today.
Saying this thing,
it takes David Chappelle to actually tell the story.
Yeah, that's true. That's because
but you know, we don't laugh at ourselves anymore.
Let me tell you something. Kevin Hart did a show about himself. He said, you know why I like Dave Chappelle? They said, why? He said, Dave's free.
Yes.
So and he broke that down. He says, Dave just walked away. He's free. I got all this crew and staff, and I got people, and I got attorneys. And he says, Dave is free. He's free.
Do we not understand what that means?
Doesn't anyone understand what that means?
So now,
including white people, because some of them aren't free either.
Most Americans aren't free.
Yeah, this is not a Black thing. This is most Americans.
And I'll tell you what makes President Trump so great. It is the first time you have seen true American freedom because he has no slate going up the hill that he's got to answer the call to anyone in the White House. By the time most people have gotten to the White House, they've had to have favors and campaign contributions and all kind of other mess to get to the White House.
It's true.
No one else in the White House actually has been that free. That's why he can be as, I hate to call him say it like this. I call him a thug. Ooh. He just does what he wants to do.
Why you call the president a thug? What you talking about, Gus? Why you man a thug?
Because thug is not a derogative term in how you use it. A thug is a person who does what they think and doesn't care what the repercussions are on the back end. That's the thug interpretation.
That's
an urban thug. Because in the hood, when we call you a thug, it ain't a derogatory thug.
No.
That was a thug move.
Right.
So a thug move is a move that you actually played and got it right and didn't care about the repercussions because you did what you thought was right.
Can't argue that.
And President Trump has the kahunas to do it, where President Barack Obama had no kahunas at all because he got nothing done. If anything, all he did was set us back.
Way back.
And we're sitting up talking about still my president.
Don't get it.
So tell me, when we talk about Black preachers, why are they following and why are they still going in line, toting the line with Biden? Do we know who he is? Do they know who he is? I know who he is. Do they know what he said about Black people in the past? How in the world can you give Joe Biden a pass? How can you give him a pass? We love Donald Trump. We hate him because somebody told him he was a racist. But Arsenio Hall got his show back because of Donald Trump. Before Donald Trump was running for president, he was supporting Black people.
Yes, he was.
Every Black sitcom that you can name, Donald Trump was a walk-on. Does anybody remember that but me? Why am I the only one that remembers?
And the rappers put his name in all their rap tunes.
150 rap tunes. So all of a sudden he's a Republican. And don't get me wrong, I fell into it. I was a never Trumper. They wouldn't let me pray for the man, Shirley, when he came to town, because I was a never Trumper while he was sitting in office. And I talked about him really, really bad. But when I sat on the convention floor, and I said, oh my God, he's trying to break the system. Lord, please don't let him die and don't let him kill him. And so I transitioned from a never Trumper to a I love Trump. That's real talk. And if you go back and you Google Tracy Winbush on Blog Talk, you can find all the conversation. And I deleted 12,000 tweets.
Wow.
In 2016.
Wow.
Because most of them were derogatory towards Donald Trump.
So you were not a Trump supporter?
No, I was a Kasich delegate.
Wow. And I was the total opposite. I was
a Kasich delegate sitting on the floor. We were going to throw a coup on the floor. We were going to make sure that Kasich was the nominee. And boy, was I wrong.
You were wrong, girl. And boy, was I. And who was right? Who was right, darling? Who was right? But who's always right? The queen, of course.
He was right. And I'm just saying.
And I was the first African-American, or I should say the only African-American woman with her children at that convention who announced for the state of California 172 delegates. They had no other Black woman do that, and from California in U.S. history.
That felt good, didn't it?
Oh, it felt good because that threw a lot of liberals off. They were saying, who is she? She's a plan. I said, honey, I've been a Republican all my life. You can Google Snoogle Moogle me, and you will find out I eat and bleed red.
And so the media, and I was, Shirley, I was just as guilty as everyone else. The media got me. I was a Trump supporter before I was a never Trumper because I was a business follower.
Yeah.
I was an apprentice follower. I was there. I was in the house.
So now let's fast forward. Here we have 2020, the COVID year. I call the year of the Locust in California. The Latinos are flying Mexican flags every day up and down the street. There's no real law and order. People have disjointed that word. And, we are running by a governor, Gavin Newsom, and Eric Garcetti, who want to expand and open up borders with no law and order. People can come here for free. Immigrants and illegals and Chinese are just flying back and forth and back and forth. And when they open up that airlines and saying, oh, come on over again, it's just a hot mess. More and more Americans are homeless than ever. Streets are disgusting than ever. But Black people, Remember, we're talking about black people because black don't crack. They are cracking you, black people, because unless you vote for Trump, and the reason why you want to vote for Trump is because we're going to hold him accountable to that platinum black plan. Now, if we were to talk about this plan encompasses money so we can have more black businesses, take our businesses over. You know, it's really sad when I traveled, when I was in Washington, D.C., and they had a place called Chinese soul food. See, the Chinese come here and they sell us our own food because we don't have the resources to be able to run our own restaurants. In California, we have Mexican soul food. You got, in certain parts of Texas, I saw Italian soul food. How are these other people able to run our food and our culture? Because we don't have the resources. They got chicken wings place owned by Chinese, and then they put this plexiglass and talk to you like you're a piece of crap. Why is that, America? But then the churches and the people say nothing. They just like sheep to the slaughter with wannabe black Kamala Harris.
We're going to get to that. We're not there
yet. She ain't black.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet because I'm trying to figure out how she became black. But that's another issue.
Oh, she was trained that way. I can help you with that. Her parents trained her that way. There was an article written up about that. How they came to this country and they had her adapt into the black culture. Because they can, most cultures, Jews did it, everybody does. Everybody starts with us. Well, I'll get the lowest of the totem pole to like us. If you notice, Indian cooks always claim, an Indian guy who's always on a Food Network, he has a soul book. Now, he's Indian, but he said he knows how to cook soul food just because he's dark. Or that other Indian boy that went to college and claimed to be Omar, some kind of name, and it was making fun of the fact that, how do blacks get certain privileges? Well, he didn't know black history. And no black spoke out against him. That's part of the problem. We let them steal our gold.
They never do. We never do. For some reason, we just give everybody a pass.
Right.
But you have to understand the civil rights legislation was, they say, the best piece of legislation ever written. And everybody uses it but black people.
So why is that?
And let's I want to slow this down for a minute. President Trump has shown a spotlight on so many things that concern black people and America. When he said drain the swamp, I don't think we understand just how deep the swamp is. Because the inequity in America is because of information and education more so than anything else. Would you say I'm right?
No, you're right. I agree.
So if you go back to the integration of schools, post that, when we had segregated schools, we knew more about the government in which we lived and that we lived in.
Absolutely.
And we knew how to access it. Absolutely. But when we got our own resources and we thought we had assimilated into, we didn't teach our children the rules of assimilation. We have no idea. We can start a business, Shirley, but we don't know what scale is. We haven't learned the disciplines that we need to have to be an entrepreneur. We don't know the school board and what to do with them that we govern. We still call city council, who is a legislator, for the potholes. We have mayors who we don't even know what they do inside of our urban settings, because you understand most of the urban settings throughout this country are Democrat controlled, are black controlled. You got a black school board, you got a black city council, you got a black mayor, you got a black board. Tell me, how in the world can it be all black and we have the problems that we have with race today and we're still not getting it because we're still monolithic in our voting and in our politics?
40 years ago, we go back to Lyndon B. Johnson. And when he instilled a lot of that new world, that the new structure that he was going for, the vision of America. And when he punked out and didn't run a second term, I believe that man was a plant. He came in there, he brought in a socialized, socialist, communist system in America, which broke up the Black family. And then they took it to another level, and they started electing these officials in the 60s and the 70s who are still alive today, who have done nothing for urban communities. Maxine Waters, Karen Bass, Sheila Jackson. They go in and preach and wear their suits and their loud clothes and their loud mouths. And they're happy for COVID because they're not in front of the camera. They're home sleeping and resting and snoring all day, and sitting there on the pens, and have destroyed urban communities. Look at Baltimore. Look at Chicago. Look at Illinois. These are all ran by Black leaders. Okay, you can't do the white card on this. This is Black leaders. These people have sold us out. They sold us out.
So going back again, how can you sell me out and me not know I got sold?
That's a good question.
How can you continue? I have not been on an auction block in what, 100 years?
No, you're on the auction block every day.
I've been on the auction block what?
You've never been off the auction block. They've auctioned you. They've auctioned you, and they've pushed illegals and immigrants and migrants ahead of you. They've given them executive orders. They've given them visas. They've given them businesses. They've come here and they put you on the street. Black people can't even sell to other Black people. So sure. They disenfranchised you by not allowing you to have money to build your own communities. That's why Trump's so important, because the Democrats believes that we should kumbaya and save the world. We are not Jesus, people. We're not Jesus. We cannot save the world. The only thing can save this world is Jesus. The only one that's going to save you is a person that's going to bring value and credence and money into your community to allow you to be a free-minded thinking person, better known as a freeman. Look up freeman.
Whoa. They can't be free, because if they're free, I can't control you. Free people are not controlled.
That's true.
But you know what else? Free people have to kill what they eat, and they have to dig what they drink.
Say it again. Say it again.
They got to kill what they eat, and they got to dig what they drink. And the problem with freedom is, I don't like working that hard.
No, you used to like working that hard. But what happened was when Lyndon B. Johnson came in, took the Black man out of the house, started doing heavy incarceration, and the Black woman was able to get a check for free for Section 8. And then when he got back home, he couldn't go back home because the law says if your man comes home and you're on the system, you ain't gonna get no check. You empowered Black women. Black women are so powerful now, they sleep with each other and they're liberal progressives.
Tell me that ain't crazy.
They have dysfunctioned our families, so we don't have a unit. Alpha Black men need to rule. Alpha Black men are being pushed down, suppressed.
Listen, Joe Biden made sure the Alpha Black men, the majority of them, got incarcerated. So now we have men or males who are not men, because we have women who raised them and couldn't teach them how to be men. That's
correct. And so we have beta Black men.
And they knew this when they,
absolutely.
They knew this. They knew this when they incarcerated us, because from what I am reading from the studies and the psychological studies that they have been putting throughout the African American community for decades, billions of dollars studying Black folk. Right now, you can't even sing and dance on television or anywhere else because everybody took it from you.
It's true. It's true. You know, another thing that's interesting, we were the cooks in this country. We are the ones that cooked in this country. We built in this country. We ate in this country. We fed the people in this country. We created the recipes with pork and beef and savory. And now you got the Food Network. They don't have no Black people on the Food Networks. They don't talk about American food on the Food Networks. It's always this Middle Eastern, Indian. I'm like, what happened to good down home Southern cooking? Where is that at? That's what I want to know.
That goes back to what I was saying to you. Choosing our leaders. Who is choosing our leaders? Because when you look at the cooks, the people that are on there, Tyler Perry is not the only person that can make a TV show. And it's not that great anyhow. I'm just saying.
I'm not being mean. His shows are not
that great. Everything says Tyler Perry, and you can't give anybody else an opportunity to make movies.
I think Tyler, but let me say this about Tyler. Tyler took his chance and he pushed and he got it. And Tyler,
I'm just saying.
He's his own man. I love him for that. I do love him for that.
BET is the Tyler Perry network, and so is OWN. But out of 300 million people, 11% of them are 12% of them are African American, and of those 12%, you only got one person who can be Tyler Perry. I'm just because he's all over. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm grateful.
And that goes back.
I look at this way. He's got his studio.
This is what I'm saying. That goes back to leadership. Don't get me wrong.
It goes back to but it goes back to opportunity, Tracy. The opportunities are minuscule. Or who's going to let you in that door? Tyler got in that door. There's doors that we have as Black people, and if you do certain things, they'll put you in jail, like Bill Cosby. They'll put you in jail. Or they get you for tax evasion, like they did Fox, Red Fox. Get you all tied up in tax evasion.
Don't forget Wesley Snipes.
And Wesley Snipes, another freed man.
So what was the Congressional Black Caucus?
It was always Democrat. It never was Republican. It was never Republican. It was one Republican at that time in Congress, and I think he was from California. And he said, "Nope, I'm not joining." The CBC has never been Republican. It's been always a socialist, liberal mindset. Now let's think about it. It's saying that you are needy people, that you can't sustain and stand on your own principles. It's saying you can't get out there and create business, have money allocated to you. They didn't teach us the rules. If I listen to Black people, I ask them, I said, do you know what LLCs are? Do you know what S corporations are? Do you understand OPM, other people's money? Do you study Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Have you thought about the fact that you could do flips and then start own businesses and own corporation? No, this is kumbaya attitude that we've got to fix and save everybody else. The only person you need to fix and save is yourself. You have an opportunity to vote right now. And we want to encourage you to vote for someone that will allow you to be a free thinker, a free man, because they are breaking us and they're breaking the system. And if we have Biden in office and Kamala want to be a Black Harris in office, it's a wrap. They're going to give everything to immigrants. We're already at the bottom. There's not going to be any bottom. You'll just be on the streets. That's Black and white, by the way.
Let me say this to you. And this is what Biden is a 20th century leader. And if Black people and America wants to go through the 20th century all over again with the same issues in a socialist manner, go with Biden. But if you want to live in the 21st century and you want to move ahead as an American and as the United States of America, and if you want to have progress and if you still want to be a sovereign nation, then you'll go with President Trump.
It's true.
Because if you go with Biden, you will be a socialist, global, under China New World Order, under the World Bank, under the IMF, and under the United Nations.
That's true.
But if you want to be a leader and you want to be American, if you like your freedoms the way they are, you will go with President Trump. And we all know that when America goes down, Black folks go dead.
I can't even argue with that. Everything that you say is right on point. And then
someone just said, "I appreciate your conversation. It's two-sided only. It doesn't have the opposite side. We don't have somebody on the other side." I know.
We're not really here to argue. I don't think so. I think we're just trying to promote clarity.
But this is a conversation about why I am a Black woman, and people look at me like I got spots on my face because I wear a Trump mask.
I got my Trump mask too.
And I need people to understand that they have been bamboozled by a machine, a media machine.
You know, I got on this Trump train in 2015.
Wow.
When I was doing Black Hollywood Live. And if you can look up the Black Hollywood Live shows, you'll see me on there. And you talk about a bunch of liberals who were like, you know, Black Hollywood Live is owned by Maria Menendez. So you have a Black Hollywood Live network for Black people in the Black community owned by Latinos in California. Isn't that special? But I was very grateful for the opportunity to be on the show and to talk politics. And of course, I'm trying to hold down the fort while every Democrat in the world beats me up. But when I said Donald Trump, they said, you're crazy. There's no way. There's no way. They thought I was the biggest joke and everything. And then 2016 rolled by, and I was blessed to be a delegate, and I was blessed to be a surrogate for the president. And I was blessed to be the first African-American with her family to announce at the Republican National Convention, where millions of people were watching. And I had people even after the convention said, wow, you must be new as a Republican. And I said, no, I've been a Republican all my life. See, sensible people know sensible things. But even within knowing all that, I believe Black communities have been set up by Democrats and set up by their own people. We entrusted our lives to these Black leaders in California, Julian Dixon. I'm gonna go back in time. We're gonna go back to Tom Bradley. We're gonna go back to Yvonne Burke. You know, these Black people could have set asides for Black people. Instead, they had set asides for the Asian community and the Latin community. And the Wilshire district got taken over by the Asian community. So now we have a bad version of Epcot in Los Angeles. We have a district for the Korean people. And they'll say Korean district. There's a district for
you know where you are. They let you know.
Oh yeah, this is the Korean district.
They subdivided. They let you know that you are in a new country when you come through here.
Yeah. So don't come in here and think you're gonna plant ground or buy in this community, because you're not gonna spend money. You might buy some stuff, but you're not gonna own any land. They're flying their flags, which is very un-American, constitutionally conflicting as well.
But do you understand? They're doing what we used to do, how we used to live, because we thought that integration meant leaving Black America. We thought that integration meant leaving being Black.
You know, I was on Laura Ingham's show last time I was on her show. She had Leo Terrell, and I asked Leo Terrell, what kind of Negro are you? And that's when they cut the show right there. What kind of Negro? I asked Leo Terrell, what kind of, now Leo Terrell's all Trump, and all these white people love him some Leo Terrell. Leo Terrell can kiss my Black ass because he is about as bad.
No,
yes, because
I don't know him. I just know that I don't agree with everything that he says.
No, because he's in it for profit. He's now on his Twitter account selling 2.0 Leo Terrell hats, red hats for $30. See, all these people are perpetrators for ratings. We got serious problems, and now you jumping on the bandwagon, and these stupid conservatives just jump on anybody Black that gets pushed by progressive Black shows. But let me tell you what Fox did. Was right afterwards you saw Laura. I got the tape of it. She says, no, we're all the same. We don't call each other Negroes. We don't call each other that word. Now, my birth certificate, Tracy, I don't know what yours says.
Mine says Negro.
Mine says Negro. So I think anybody in their 40s and their 50s should look at their birth certificate. You might find out you're a Negro.
Let me ask you this. I think we were better when we were Negroes.
I think we're better when we were Negroes. I want to be a Negro again.
We were better when we were Negroes because we were free.
I was free.
We may not have been integrated, but we were free.
We were free. We had our own schools and marketing stores.
We had hotels.
Yes, we did. Gas stations.
Had restaurants. We had golf courses.
My aunt owned the cleaners. My parents had their own business called Tiny Town College on 39th and Vermont. And they were free.
Don't forget Magnificent. She was Magnificent with Bills on 54th and Western.
And Crenshaw. What are we talking about?
Yeah, yes, on Crenshaw.
You're talking about the barbershop.
The barbershop.
They're still there. I know
their own hair sheen. that we're trying to find right now because we're back to naturals.
Yes. And so we were doing good when we managed the whole. But you guys, so let's fast forward so we can have you guys understand. And I've talked about this, and Tracy has too. I want to fast forward you to understand that these businesses are now cultivated and taken hostage by immigrants. The gas stations are owned by all the Armenians and the Persians. The Koreans have come in and captivated on a multi-billion-dollar industry. They've copied how we make our.
I need to ask you this reason: is it their fault or is it ours, or is it the system? Because
it's a system. It's because the system funded them, and they see the opportunity. And then when we saw them coming in, many of us did fight back. But how can you fight back?
They wouldn't fund us.
But they wouldn't fund you. So when you don't have assets and you don't have money, these people circumvented us. His and hers on Wilshire was a little building. And the Koreans have taken over that whole block. And then they built a whole town, downtown LA, off the head of a Black woman.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
President Trump is the only president I know in my lifetime, especially in my voting lifetime, but in my lifetime, I would say from my history and me reading, that has ever really addressed the economic development of where the concentration of African Americans live.
Very true.
He is the only president that has even put money and Black in the same sentence.
But
and I remember in 16, he said, what do you have to lose? He's put money into HBCUs, which is education.
True.
He has done his best to make sure that we begin to start partnerships so that we have opportunity zones. His plan expands on that. Ice Cube comes up and says, I want to talk, and he says, let's do it now. Biden says, well, you got to wait. And we still are sitting on the sideline for somebody telling me that he said something that you never heard him say. Because he has not put a Black Lives Matter t-shirt on, or he told you that we need to be a part of law and order. We won't support this president, and we want to call him a racist. We want to call him all this now, still. But we can give Byrd a pass. I think he was a Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, Robert Byrd. He also was Hillary Clinton's mentor with Margaret Sanger.
Hello. That's what I'm saying.
Ding, ding.
How do these people get a pass? Remember, I believe he said that President Obama.
They get a pass because people don't read, people don't learn, people don't study. And because of social media, we are moving through time through knowledge within our own community. The next generation is not stupid. I thank God for the next generation, because the generation before, me and you, pushed us out of the way and won't let the baton go. They're holding the baton like an old, crusted, crooked politician, like they all are. All them Black people in Congress and the Senate. They didn't help none of us. We got to wait till they all die off. It's not fair. I hope the next generation comes in and just knocks them all out. I praise God for the descendants of slaves, the ADOS. The African American descendants of slaves, we need more people running for office who care about the people. Economics is the key. It's the key. When you let other people come here from other countries and they bring their money, they bring their food, they bring their culture, and then you give them visas so they can bring their family in, and then they're gonna say Black people are lazy. No, we're not lazy. We're disenfranchised by federal government through decades. Decades. We got abandoned by the Republican Party after the Civil War. After the Reconstruction War, with Lincoln's death.
We were, and as a matter of fact, and we would not even look at them. And the Republican Party did not even court the African American. It's up until 2016, when President Trump gave the Black speech. That's what I call it.
Okay.
Because that was the first time I've ever seen a president actually target African Americans, period.
Right. To address that issue.
And the Democrat platform does not speak to any issues that Black people have. And you can't find African American and or Black in the 2016 platform at all. They wouldn't even mention your name.
No, but they sure mention gays, LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F, G people.
And everything else.
And
so
illegal immigrants. And immigrants.
So please explain to me, what is the love affair and why they will not look at President Trump and say, you know what do I have to lose? I may not like his personality, but I'm not trying to marry him. I just want what's right for me. We're not looking to get married. I'm not marrying Donald Trump, are you?
Nope.
He got a wife.
Pretty wife.
Speaking of which, and I just want to say this really quick, you ought to know something is wrong when you have not seen Melania Trump on any fashion magazine cover since she has been First Lady. Because you may not like her husband, but that chick can dress and she's a bad girl.
Come on now. That walking
she wears clothes like a hanger.
And get that pump walking next to him. Girl, ain't nobody wearing them shoes like that every day. She got them toes crunched in them shoes. I was like, go ahead.
Explain to me.
Stilettos, baby.
One magazine.
Stilettos, even though Michelle never wore stilettos like that. This one was wearing stilettos. Hillary didn't wear no stilettos. Stilettos, honey. She said, I am a sexy woman.
Melania, I mean, she ain't sexy. She got swag.
Swag and sex. I'm gonna throw sex.
So my question is, how can you not put her on the cover of a fashion magazine?
Because this is the most divided time in U.S. history. You literally, for me, my son came in the room and he started saying, what do you think? Look at this lady, tell me what she is. And I got to the point, I can either look at you or I can talk to you for 5 minutes and tell you you're a liberal or you're a conservative. Less than 5 minutes. I'm down to 3 now. Like down to 3. They'll say something, I say, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. I can look at you and tell you don't wear makeup, you love eating, I'm gonna be nice on your show. You like doing fur pies, and you are a woman that hates the president and wants to help the poor people, I said, what about the Black people? They'll skip over that. They want to help these people bring their illegal kids in. But the drug lords are using their children, other people's children, to come over the border, and they're stuck. I'm telling you, California is the year of the locust. And if you look worldwide, there is a locust problem right now. Plagues are coming on our country.
Plagues are everywhere, a biblical proportion. But for some reason, our United States media doesn't tell us anything but that everybody's dying for COVID. And I got a story about COVID that'll blow your mind.
No. You're telling the truth. Tell them the truth.
We're turning the corner. People are lying to people. I'm so tired of the disingenuousness of our media when it comes to the American public and who we are. They are making us into a nation that we are not. And people are drinking the Kool-Aid like it's good for them. And it's like Jim Jones, they gonna die. Biden will kill us.
As he already has.
Kamala Harris will be president. Hear me when I say this. She is not who people think she is.
No, she's not.
She does not like people of dark hue.
No, she does not. She likes incarceration.
They've done her too wrong. Her history is not well with people of dark hue.
If you look at her record and what she did in California, it was devastating. Devastating.
There's a guy, I gotta put this on. Guy just put in here, Joe Paul, he said, if you wear a mask in your car alone, you know you're a liberal.
We can do those jokes. That's a good one. If you sit in your car with a mask on your face driving, we know you're a liberal. That is an easy way to spot the people. Y'all should start coming up with these lines. What else? You know you're a liberal.
That is so true.
You know.
That is so true. Jeez, oh man.
It's like, come on, take the dang thing off.
But I'm just saying, Shirley, our Black people are so much better than this.
We are. And
then
we
why don't they
and
know
under
it?
this administration, you're going to be able to see us shine in a much different light. And I believe that the record numbers of Black people voting in this election is going to be extraordinary. They're going to vote for Trump. There's going to be more Black people voting for Trump than they will for Biden. But the people who are voting for Biden are these old Black Southerners and some of these old church people. And some of these old church people going to hell.
No, but I'll say this. Let me say it this way. I think some of the old folks gonna vote for Trump. They may not like him.
I think the old folks in California are not voting for Trump.
Well, now, but you understand. Let me. I nothing personal, Shirley. I know you live out there still, but I'm in Ohio. Don't nobody care what y'all people in California do because y'all ain't gonna give us the state anyhow. So it ain't personal. Just make sure you hold down Texas, but we got to make sure Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio swing Trump.
I agree.
I love you out there in California. Y'all my heart. Y'all my second home. And I don't want to live there no more, but I love y'all. But they're not they can stand out there all day long and vote. They can sing and do whatever they want to do. But here on my side of the country in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Michigan, Detroit, I go to church in Detroit. I go to Perfecting Church. I've been there for 20 some odd years.
Jesus.
It is 3.5 hours from my house.
Jesus.
And I pray that Detroit does not drink the Jim Jones Kool-Aid called Biden Hyde. Because do you understand, Kamala Harris is not your friend and Joe Biden is not in the room.
Kamala want to be Black Harris. She's not Black.
She don't want to be Black. She want to have power. And she will
say anything. Why is this lady, listen, I'm doing good without cursing on your show. Tell me why this woman is up there dancing every time she come out. These white people that got her trained like they got Roland Martin trained, walk out stage. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm like, bitch, we don't want to see you dance. What policies are you putting into place to help the better lives of African American people? What plan do you have for putting economic empowerment within our communities if you say you are Black? Come on now. What popcorn is this life on?
I didn't pay attention to her dancing coming out.
I keep finding every time that shit coming out dancing. And she ain't got no rhythm anyway. You ain't got no rhythm. You dance like an Indian. Girl, go put
No, we don't do because I got Indian friends.
I got Indian friends and they think I'm crazy. We get along real good. I got Indian friends. They love me. I got Indian followers and they feel the same way.
Shirley, we got problems.
Oh, we already know that. We got solutions though.
This is insane. We
got solutions.
The problem is the solution. They didn't put Jim Jones juice and they drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, what Kool-Aid is that? Tell me.
Oh, Oprah Kool-Aid. And I got a theory, and I'm gonna put it out there. And it probably, I got an Oprah theory.
Okay.
Now Oprah took and put Gayle King on CBS, and Oprah brought Barack Obama to the table.
Yes, she did.
And Oprah's the only one I know that knows about Masterclass. She brought Masterclass and made it, and she made it popular.
Yes.
To the masses.
Yes.
Now you tell me that she ain't a slick cookie.
That was smart. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
I just want you to now look at her policies. And then don't forget her speech at the Oscars. Please don't. And then here we come up with Kamala Harris. And please don't forget about the Abrams chick down there in Georgia.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Please, we need to connect all the dots.
Yeah, she's tired.
Her hand is all over this.
Yeah, her hand is all over this. And nobody's talking about that.
But her name is not being mentioned.
Right. She's like that underground silence.
And she is a feminist. There's a difference between a civil rights person who's Black and a Black feminist.
Right. And she fits the role. No husband, no kids.
I don't have a husband. I don't have a chick nor a child. I got a dog and a mom, but I'm not a feminist because I still think Black men and white men are important.
Yeah, but you speak well of Black men. You don't see her doing that.
Absolutely.
She doesn't do that. She fits that role. She fits that prototype card.
So think about how you like.
And you love your mama. She did not love her mother. She loved her to a certain extent.
So I'm just saying,
because of how her mother treated her.
Look at her hand in the equation of the election. And now you have Kamala Harris and you've got Biden. And Barack Obama is running around the country saying absolutely nothing about nothing.
Yeah, crickets are in the room. And when he does speak, nobody's around. Explain that one.
Well, the reason why nobody's around is because of COVID. You can't go, and right, that's the excuse.
Oh, that's their excuse. Okay, all right.
Remember, you can't.
And why isn't he not doing more social media and doing videos and going on all these liberal shows? He's not doing that either.
Someone said earlier today, why did he start 7 days out?
Right. You know, there's another theory too, that they knew that all this stuff was coming out about Biden and Hunter Biden and the crack cocaine and all. They knew all this, and the kids, they knew all this was coming out. So they planted him as the front runner so he can take the full responsibility of what's about to happen. Because I think there's a lot of other people in them emails. A lot of people in those emails. They're going to come out. And treason is going to be the big talk of 2021. Treason.
They should have been held for treason when they went after for the peaceful transition of power that never happened between the Obama administration and the Trump
I agree
administration.
with that. I was saying treason then. I was saying treason now. I've said treason and aiding and abetting all through my videos for the last 4 years. Aid and abet, and treason. This is why I don't do videos anymore. Why I do videos? For me. Because I have laid down the law and made it clear how I feel and what is about to come. And there's enough people out there. But the Trump people are surrounded by Black people who are still not telling him the full picture of the Black community. They're easily, he picks these people who are, safe nets. I don't think, and I really don't think it's him. I just think that there's certain people on the RNC.
It's like athletes. If you want to know why athletes marry certain women, it's because they're the only ones with access. So it's like me moving into a new town and them not showing me the Black neighborhood.
I say non-threatening. You're a threat. Okay. I'm a threat. No other people, they just kind of go with the flow and they smile and they lift up their social media platform. Oh, I got more people following me. I'm at a point now, follow me, you do. You don't follow me, ain't the end of the world.
But social media is not the end all. I've got an agenda to make the world a better place before I leave here.
Okay. And honestly, I think you have fulfilled that agenda. I do. You have been on the air a long time.
I must not be done yet.
I'm not saying that you're done, but to say that you have not fulfilled a large portion of that calling, I think you've done that. Now Tracy's time for Tracy.
But we have people deserve better, and they're not. Americans deserve better.
Absolutely.
This country was better when I was younger than it is now, even though
Absolutely.
we have more.
So what's the problem?
And our future generations deserve better.
So tell me, what's the problem?
President Trump gets it. The greatest words that he said to Joe Biden during the last debate was, "If you had done your job, would not have to run. I'm running because you and Obama did not do the job that was needed."
That was good.
And the biggest problem that we have with people who are elected to office is that they don't do the job.
No, at all.
And most of them don't even know the job that they're getting elected for, because they don't even know what the job does. They don't study. It's a popularity contest. And we've had all these politicians who have been elected to office who have not done what's necessary and made the right decisions for the people, because we don't have leaders.
It's true.
So here we are in a pandemic and everybody's chasing their tail. You've got Fauci sitting on there talking about we're all going to die, which is not true. It's a bad virus. But Americans are used to be fighters. What happened? What happened to the fighters?
Let's go back to the beginning of the year. We're in third year Trump administration, 3.5 years. Economy is doing great. Black people are starting to feel empowered. There was a lot of great things happening before COVID. Then when COVID hit, the Biden and Harris administration wants to blame it on him, and Trump leans forward and says, China virus.
And now you're calling him a racist, a xenophobe, because you're not supposed to say that. Because
China.
if you say it came from China, if you say it
and
came
he
from
leans
China,
for it and
it's
goes,
racist.
China.
How do you say that if you say that it came from China, you become a racist when China is sitting there with a 100-year marathon plan for the imperial?
It came from Wuhan, China. People are still dying in China, and they're lying. They're lying in China, saying that they don't have it anymore. And then they have Africans who were in China, and they were beating them with metal sticks, the kind that flex, saying, you gave this to us, you gave this to us. So then the president of Kenya says, we will fly our people back home. And they went and got their Negroes and got them out of China. And still now we have all these Chinese people, Korean people coming to our country. And California is a hot mess. We have had the invasion of their funds and their lifestyle, and they do not respect the Black community. They just don't.
Well, they don't respect. Remember, Chinese are not taught to respect any community except for their own. I mean, we need to.
I know, but their own, but their own is our own now. They've come into our communities. They've bought up the land in California,
but see,
the apartments, the units,
keep on talking about
and then
California,
they treat you like if you're that dog on the corner as the landlord.
But that's surely greater than that. They're trying to take over the land of America.
Well, of course.
And remember,
and so are the Mexicans, though. There's a fight for the soul of the state of California right now.
Well, there's a fight for the soul of America. And Biden wants to put us on a respirator. I don't think we understand, because right now we're at war with China. China is still, there is a world order that they're trying to make sure that America becomes globalized under the United Nations and becomes socialized. That is the goal. America is so close to socialism and so close to not free, they don't even know it yet. Anytime that you walk in some type of fear to walk down an American street because you support a certain candidate, that's a problem. America is the land of the free and home of the brave. I thought that's what they told me.
So where's the brave part at? Where are the brave people right now? Where are the brave people? They don't want you to have guns. They don't want you to have guns. They don't want you to get out and socialize. And they're tired of it. In Beverly Hills just this weekend, we had a huge rally of people just waving and screaming and yelling, Trump, Trump, Trump. I've been in that same spot where we were activists. It was small 4 years ago. 4 years later, you couldn't get it. People could barely walk in there. And then Cardi B's husband drives down the street with his gun. And someone taped him. And then they asked him, do you want to press charges? Personally, I would have pressed charges and made that a bigger case. Now Cardi B's talking about the Trump supporters are hating on us. But you went ahead and your husband or ex-husband or whatever he is, that she's screaming because he went to jail or fighting jail. You pulled out a gun in California. You pulled out a gun in California? Okay.
You guys are not as, you guys don't have open carry and stuff like we do.
We used to have open carry, but because of the Black Panthers.
But that's different. No, I'm talking about recently. Right now you can't do that.
Oh, right? You can't do that. See, the Black Panthers got tired of white people going in their neighborhoods. So the Black people got smart. And they said, well, I got a fishing license. I can carry a gun too. So then this is under Ronald Reagan. So then Ronald Reagan said, fine, then we'll make it so that nobody can carry a gun. So you had a Republican president took the right, a Republican president.
Reagan was governor then.
Yeah, he was governor then. He took a governor took the gun right away from the American people in California. See, that's what I'm saying. It don't matter Republican or Democrat. You have to understand the bureaucracy of this country. You have to understand law and order. You have to understand how certain elected officials don't get it right. We think, oh, they're Republican, they're going to get it right.
But they don't care.
And they don't get it right. I wouldn't say that people don't care. I said people don't know. I will not say people don't care. I think people don't know the repercussions. This is what Joe Biden is saying about the when he basically put the 3 strikes law in. I didn't know the repercussions. That's a lie, because the study showed you if you do this, this is the outcome.
This is what will happen.
If you put enough Black men in a room together, their hormones start collapsing, and that man starts to look good to him. And now he's doing them in the butt. You're going to put men in a cage, they have to be released. Men have to release. That's why they have a woman. They have to release. A woman can't play around. That's why they got other girlfriends. They get home, their wife won't give them none. They will go to the girl who will give them some because they have to release. And now fast forward, the LGBT, they use dark men as their poster child. The black man is the poster child for the transgenders and for the gays. The black dark man. They target us and everything. And they proud to tell you, Don Lemon, I'm a gay man. I'm a gay man. Ain't nobody ask you if you're gay, Don. We all know that. Why do you have to constantly announce it? Because CNN says, talk about your gay life. Controlled by a white man. Are you the top or the bottom? That's all I want to know, bro. I mean, really. You up there promoting that agenda and then say you support black people. You confuse me because there's a movement in this country with them and there's a movement with blacks now. There's a fight. Look, we haven't talked about, let's talk about the Black War right now. There's a Black War between the African-American descendant of slaves and Africans. Africans are starting more and more doing videos talking about, don't look like the Black Americans. I look at white America. I'm not like those people. What do you mean not like those people? You ain't like me? No. You are Black American. Like I'm an African. I'm from another land. I'm better. But then you get Africans who do want to work with Pan-Africans, who want to work with us. So there are Africans that do. But then you got people, Caribbeans, Haitian, you have Black Latino. Everybody's claiming to be Black and something else. I'm not Black and nothing. I am a descendant of Negro slaves, okay? I am a Negro. And when people say, oh, you're not a Negro, I said, my birth certificate says Negro. What do you want me to do with that? It doesn't say Black. It doesn't say African American. African Americans came out of a Jesse Jackson era. But if you want to be correct, that will make them feel comfortable, meaning the white America, whoever. We are historically Black people. When you talk about the historical Black colleges, we are the people of the historical Black colleges. We're historical Black. Historical Black goes back to 1619, goes back to 1860. Oh, I'm sorry, goes back to historical Black goes back to Lincoln's era. Right.
Historical Black is indigenous to America.
Right.
Black people are indigenous to America. Black people are because remember, when you do your DNA check as Black people, everybody comes from somewhere. But we were bred in slavery. You can't breed and have no land and make a new people and then tell them they're from somewhere else.
That's true.
See, when you come here and you breed people because we were bred, and see, that's the history that they don't teach. So when you ask Black people, why are you mad? Because the people that are walking with Black Lives Matter, most of them don't know it's a political agenda.
Most of them ain't Black. The Black Lives Matter is not a Black Lives Matter. It is the liberal progressive matter that uses our name, that uses Black people's name as a front for their agenda.
But I'm saying when you look at the yard signs here in rural and where we are, we're not marching. But they have Black Lives Matter signs in the yards in the neighborhood just because it's a nice slogan. But those people are feeling the pain of the breeding that came out of slavery, and the pain of the breeding that came out of Jim Crow. Someone told me earlier today that it was illegal for their mom and dad to be married in the county in which they lived in when they were being born. So I'm saying that so that we understand, Black people, this is our country. There's no Africa for me to go to. When I go back to Mississippi. That still makes me American. How about you?
Okay.
And so we need to quit trying to be something that we're not. We're indigenous to American. We are Americans, and we need to take the rights and privileges of America.
I agree.
But right now, we don't love the country in which we live in. We're trying to live somewhere else where we've never been.
But I think there's a different movement now. I think with the ADOS movement and the Black Family First and FBA, Foundational Black Americans, They are adhering to the history and the foundation in which we stand our ground on. And they are learning and they're studying and they're building. They're more of them are running for office. I see more and more Black people in the local government area run for office. And that's important because the more that you get people who understand that policies make a difference in your community. Now, you talked about DNA. You know, there's genealogy and there's DNA. We have to look at the Daughters of the Revolution. If you study the Daughters of the Revolution, they know that there are children that can go all the way back to the Revolutionary War. We should be able to do the same system. If people look up DAR and you study their system, that's the same system of proving who we are. People say, how am I supposed to go back? I said, you should be able to do that through your genealogy, not your DNA. Your genealogy will tell you your mother, your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, and you are probably maybe 4 or 5 generations removed from slavery. I'm 3. So, or at least you can go back to 1885, 1886. If you can go back to prove that you're a descendant of slavery, you qualify to me for the Black money. But when Trump says there's a Black plan, is everybody's going to be Black. I'm Black Latino. I'm Black this.
Everybody's Black anyhow.
Everybody's supposed to be Black. So that's not clarifying that. That money needs to have clarity.
I don't think.
And well, they're working on it. I'm not gonna hold it back from them. I think there are enough of us yelling, saying, take the word minority out. Take the word, when we talk about Black, there needs to be a standard of who are the Black people. Because otherwise you have all these immigrants with dark hues claim to be Black. And that's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at an opportunity to embetter the urban communities and what we need to change the game in the urban communities of making sure that Black people have a voice and have resources to control their voices on the street.
I agree. I can't fight with that. I just know that we're better than this. And here we are 6 days to election.
Wow.
And it is an election where...
But okay, let's say Trump wins, which I believe he will. This Black thing ain't going nowhere. Black Lives Matter still going to be fighting. People still being... I mean...
what's going to happen on the 5th?
What's going to happen? You think he's going to send a National Guard in and he's still sitting, he's acting a fool?
Trump will win, and he will. When Trump wins, peace will come back to people will go home.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
Don't get me wrong. The first couple of days,
these people,
gonna be crazy.
They're gonna be crazy. They're gonna be crazy because they can't believe you won again, and then they're gonna be even more extra crazy because they got COVID-19 money and they ain't working, and then in California, all the illegals and immigrants are gonna go cuckoo. So I can't speak about the rest of the country on your side of the planet.
You keep talking about California.
Well, I'm in California. I'm born and raised.
It ain't personal about where you are. But you know, if y'all, it ain't. You guys are gonna go where you guys go in here. You in New York, you guys are gonna go nuts. You in New York and Chicago, we already know you guys are gonna go nuts.
Well, we're nuts. Cuckoo
but
for
the rest of
Cocoa.
us in the rest of the country, we'll go back to normal. Oregon will go back to normal.
No, California will never go back to normal.
Huh?
California is not going to go back to normal. Our taxes are going to be raised.
California won't go back to normal, but Oregon will.
Let's see what happens after the election.
Portland go back to normal.
All the liberal states in the United States will not go back to normal. They're going to cry and beg and plead. Look, Nancy Pelosi won't sign that bill to allow funds to be released because in that bill, it states also that she's trying to bail out California for their misappropriated uses of funds within the state. She's also trying to help feed and aid illegal immigrants and migrants and people with expired visas who've been on expired visas and green cards for 40 years. All these people need to be arrested, gathered up, and tossed out of the country. A lot of these people were trying to get that PPP money or the EDD money, and they had fake Social Security cards. But their mindset is, look, I pay taxes. I pay taxes. I file my taxes. I'm a good person. No, you stole someone's ID. It's okay because I pay taxes. See, in their mind, illegal It doesn't mean illegal. But if a black man gets caught with weed or an ounce of weed, he goes to jail. If he tries to pull a gun, anything, he goes to jail. He gets shot, he gets killed. So now we're living in a different era. So the rules are different for them than for us. So no, when Trump gets reelected, they're going to lose their mind. And he will be reelected.
I've got a question for you. And I ain't going to hold you too much longer. What happens if he doesn't get reelected?
Oh, we don't think that way.
No, I'm not talking about we don't. Okay. I didn't say we don't think that way. The question is, we have to look at things in a 360-degree view.
If Trump does not get reelected,
if Trump wins,
when Trump wins, go ahead.
When Trump wins, we know that the left is going to lose their mind, and we know they're going to protest. They're going to do worse than they did in 2016.
That's correct.
But then remember, they're the ones who said about there couldn't be any fraud. Now, Trump says, I think it's a bad idea because of fraud. But they said, oh, no. So they're going to jump up and down.
They're going to jump and down, say fraud.
They're going to say fraud. They're going to pass out. And everything's going to go crazy.
And they're going to start looting. Now, when we had the Rodney King riots, they didn't go past Wilshire. That's a certain part of LA.
No.
Didn't go past Wilshire. But when they had this last situation, those Mexicans went in over to Beverly Hills. They went over there to the Caruso Project, and they tore Fairfax up, honey. They got up there.
Fox Hills?
Past Fox Hills. That's old school. They went into Beverly Hills and tore it up. Just the other night, they tore up after the Dodgers won. Up in that Los Feliz area, and they tore up those stores, those markets, and they just let them go. They said, well, just let them go for it, and then we'll shut them down slowly. We'll just shut them down slowly. And then they flew around in their cars and have their Mexican flags. So they're gonna make life hell. They're going to make hell. The liberals are going to make hell for the rest of us in this country because they have allowed other cultures of people to come in and claim our land. And Trump is not going to settle for that. And they know it.
Okay, let's try this one more time. That's not on the news. I watched the news this morning. I watched CNN, MSNBC, TV news. None of what you said about going on in California and the Dodgers really has been covered about it.
I got an article I found. It's out there. They showed them rolling around in their cars with the Mexican flags.
Do you have to look for it? Because they haven't shown us the Mexican flags flying.
Oh, yeah, the Mexican flags are everywhere. If you go into my chat room people will tell you there's Mexican flags flying in California off their cars, on their houses. They've been doing that for decades, and they're even getting bolder now. They want to take over the state of California. They call California Northern Mexico. When you go to the markets, everything's in Spanish. The music and the radios are Spanish. But if you say something, you're a racist. Now, I call it the year of the locust. These people are coming in. If you know how locusts move, they eat up and they gobble everything.
But let me ask this. Shirley, we're Black. And I lived in Los Angeles, I live here in Ohio. Are they just taking advantage of an opportunity that we just disregard?
I would think that before. I don't. I think that the way government has set us up and divided us and dismantled us and uneducated us and us we trusted a lot in these Black leaders. We trusted a lot in these Black leaders. And so why would we think that the government had plots against us when we had Black leaders? We felt like after Dr. King, there were a lot of Black people who were elected to major positions, and they were. But they were bought out. And they let them put laws and rules in place allowing the Colombians to come in and bring the drug lords in the 80s, and what they did in the 70s when we talk about Lyndon B. Johnson, and then what happened in the 60s with the civil rights movement and how it, was moving, and it eventually got bamboozled and taken over. A white woman's a civil rights person, a gay's a civil rights, and fast forward to today, every era I can study all the way back to Lincoln had some type of progressive, socialist, communist intervention within Black community, some type of law, some type of structure, some type of addendum in place that dismantled us, that pushed that Black man further away and empowered that Black woman. You don't need that man. We'll give you government money. You don't need that man. We'll take care of you. You're strong. Look how strong you are as a Black woman. We don't need Black men. Now you've got all these liberal progressive women who run around with these other crazy white liberal progressive women, and they have just totally dismantled the Black family. But there's a generation, which I have hope in, which is not mine, that understands through the ADOS movement, the descendants of slaves, the Black families, we are a different group and brew of people. And we're going to start holding accountability to all of these people, something that I have been preaching for decades. Accountability. You run for office, you need to be accountable for what you have allowed happen within that district. And we shouldn't have to wait for you to die, like Cummings. We shouldn't have to wait for you to die for somebody to come in and say, look how bad it is. No, you can say that now and get them out. You can say that now. Like Joe Collins running, God bless him, for Maxine Waters' seat, who has a war chest of $55 million. Y'all look up her war chest. She got some money. She probably got more than that for run for office. So a lot of these people, we have to sit back literally and wait for them to die.
But let me ask this. Do we have, because this is my problem. People die. The brainwashing of the African American
was also imposed through Black people, not just the government. It's Black elected officials who were part of that perpetration.
Some of the perpetrators, because remember Maxine Waters, when Barack Obama first got elected, she had a town hall in Southfield. And in this town hall, she said, Barack Obama hasn't landed his plane in a Black neighborhood since he got elected. And that's the last time you saw Maxine Waters on national television, and she didn't say anything for 7 more years. You didn't see John Connors or any of them while Barack Obama was in office on mainstream talking about any policy or anything. And remember, she went into an investigation under the Ethics Commission. She and her husband.
Right, for
the same time they got Charlie Rangel.
Right. And she was putting money in Bank One America. She was putting money in that, and then it was going towards immigrants.
So let me ask you this. Are they quiet because they got a file on them and they can't say anything? Or are they quiet because they are ignorant? Or are they quiet because they just don't know?
They're quiet because they're old and they need to be put in the ground. They're almost 80 years old. They're almost 90 years old. They don't have the fight. They don't know how to do social media. They don't know how to do Facebook. And they don't understand half the stuff. They're being trained and spoon fed by their staffers and the old white regime that tells them what to say and do. They don't have the fight in them anymore. The only fight they need, and they come out, is when they need to on those commissions, those hearings. That's the only time you see them come out. They don't have a relationship within the community anymore. And they don't have to. They have a war chest to get them back in office to position themselves. And yes, I know where you're going. I agree with them going. Remember, they were an Obama fan. Remember when Jesse Jackson said, cut his nuts off? He said, cut his nuts off. He had his mic off, and after that, Jesse was cut off. Jesse's nuts got cut off by Obama. He cut his nuts off. He said, oh, Negro, I'm gonna cut your nuts off. That's what he did. That's why Jesse didn't go nowhere after that.
You ain't heard no more from Jesse.
Nope. No more. And Al Sharpton became distant. Now he's like, I'm not a Jesse Jackson supporter. But Al Sharpton leaned heavily on Jesse. Jesse put Al Sharpton more on the map. But then when that time, you remember, when when Bush won, senior. Was it senior or junior? I can't remember. When he won that election, and all of a sudden Jesse Jackson's baby mama came out, and they all said we're gonna protest against this inauguration. It was the Gore Bush election. You remember that year? And the CBC said that they're going to protest against it. And then all of a sudden, Jesse Jackson baby mama pictures came out right before that election. If they want to get you, they get you.
I remember that.
They want to get you, they get you.
So, I just got questions.
Okay.
Sometimes you go, okay, President Trump. They're gonna get you. They get it. How is it that they can get and got him and he can still be standing, but they can get and got us and we go and we cower?
We don't have the power or the resources. This is all about money and power and numbers.
You're going back to that again, huh?
We've never left it. If you don't understand chess, everybody should play chess. Each person, each piece on the board does something different to get to the other side. And you have to work congruently together. But they've taken our chess pieces and they've thrown them in the river. So I'm still looking for my bishop. I'm still looking for my knight. I'm still looking for my rook. And then when I get one, I've got to train it to become part of my board. But when you get a whole board together, and the boards are coming together of Black people, people are coming together and they are united in an intellectual manner. And that's what liberal progressives don't want to show either. There are Black people who may even have a difference with us, but they can have a conversation. They're not emotionally disgruntled, because that's how they like to perceive us as, oh, and did you know? And I gotta. We're not always that. We are emotional people, but we're not always that. We have a plan, we have a purpose, and we're going to execute that purpose. And even with Trump in office, you saying you'll give us $500 billion, we want to see that put into an executive order. I don't want no plan. I don't want no study. I want an executive order. I want my set aside. That's all I want.
But what I do want, I want to see it go in. I want to see the majority of the money meet the people. The last thing we need is another government program that is administrative heavy.
I agree.
And don't get me wrong, I need to make a living. But I need to make sure that the money meets the people so that the people can actually turn it around. No more cars. It needs to be seed money where it's going to grow. We need to learn how to eat the seed. Sow the seed and eat the bread. And we need to know the difference between the two.
I agree.
Because we have not learned the difference between seed and bread.
No, I agree.
And I am so saddened of all the monies that have been brought into the Black community over the decades.
But you say it so much, and I would say I disagree. I think that money is alluded to feel like it's a lot of money coming to us. It doesn't get to us. I'm going to say at least in California.
The allocation is there, but the administration is
if the allocation is there, that Black Lives Matter, but it's not there either. Do Black lives really matter? No. Not to the American people, because if they did, they would not allow people to be homeless like they are right now. Why are we so intrigued with trying to let all these foreigners fly in and out of this country like popcorn? I would cut all that off. I wouldn't let international travel commence like that with businesses. You can't come in this country and buy our land up. You get one house. If you're not an American citizen and you have a green card, a Visa card, or whatever, you cannot buy American land. That's how I feel. Because what it has done is it has disenfranchised Black America and white America. It's not fair to Americans that we're competing with these all cash people. So a lot of the money that you think comes to us, it doesn't. It comes to them.
If I have my way, I would stop that if you come over here and you have a baby and you're illegal, the baby's legal. I don't know what that's called.
Well, you're talking about, if we go back to the real true talk, we talk about the citizenship rights, which Trump said.
That's right.
The citizenship rights is not applicable to them. It meant black people. And again, we have law that has been manipulated by us. That's why Ruth Ginsburg is dead. They might be able to get some stuff overturned. That dark side of the moon finally closed this chapter. Isn't it funny? An evil woman replaced by a woman of God. Wow.
Well, I'm thankful.
Wow.
I'm thankful.
Wow. A woman that supported baby killings and did not help black people at all, put laws in place to disenfranchise us. There's a dark side of the moon that people don't want to talk about, but it's real dark. And it's by the grace of God that we all go. It's by the grace of God. We need to continue to pray for our country and pray for each other. I want to end on this note that God put on my spirit. I think me and you've talked about it. You know, in Genesis, I think 10 or 4:10, it talks about Adam and Cain, Cain and Abel. And you remember when Cain and Abel were brothers, but one brother was jealous of the other one. He would always bring amazing sacrifices to God, and Cain could not match Abel. He didn't have that passion and love for God. He just envied his brother and he hated his brother. He hated him so much that he killed his brother. And when he killed his brother, God said, Abel, where's your brother at? I mean, Cain, where's your brother at? Cain, where's your brother? He said, am I my brother's keeper? Now, can you imagine going to God saying, am I my brother's keeper? Like, why am I supposed to know what this man is at? Why are you asking me that question? He says, the blood of your brother's voice speaks from the ground. Your blood has a voice. That penetrated me. The blood has a voice. The blood has a voice. I believe there's a lot of blood on the ground that is speaking to God right now for us in America. And they're turning and they're toiling and they're saying, God, there are black people, white people who serve this country. And look where we are today. And there's black people who are above the ground who are also crying and saying, God.
But then again, with the blood that's in the ground, there's grace that does more abound. And with that grace that comes with the blood of Jesus, it gives us forgiveness. America's problem is they have become an amoral country and they become evangelists of immorality.
Absolutely.
And so at one time, even if we did wrong, we asked God to bless our wrong and bless us. Right now, we promote godless living in every way. And we believe and we teach and we evangelize. If it feels good, do it. Every commandment that God made, America is promoting to break. From the point of who God created and who created the heavens and the earth, all the way down to how your body was made for man and woman. And when you promote those things, and on top of that, you are the biggest funder of killing unborn children, which is murder and a spirit of Moab, then you're in big trouble. So when you take the power of America and you begin to evangelize godless things, you have a problem. And President Barack Obama magnified everything that was godless in this nation.
That sounds like a plague to me, Tracy. That's a plague. That's why I said this is not going to be over once Trump is reelected, because the plague is moving across the land. That's why I would say to anyone as a believer, they should pray over their house and pray around their house or around the space they're in and plead the blood of Jesus. And say, the blood of Jesus controls the land of my life and protects me on a daily basis. I also believe
you gotta believe in the blood of Jesus. And let me say
that's true too.
With that said, we have to ask God to shed his grace on us. And right now, I don't think you have heard Ray Charles since the pandemic, unless you played it for yourself. At night, remember our TV stations used to go off.
That's right, the little Indian man come up.
And when
that's when you know your ass old, by the way.
When the stations went off, you heard "God Bless America."
Yes, you did.
Right now, we have not promoted "God Bless America" on the pandemic, on the social injustice, on anything that's going on in this nation.
Nope.
And people are not praying for the President of the United States of America.
The way they should. There are people praying. I'm praying.
There are many people. I'm not
there
saying
are many
collectively.
people that are praying.
There are many people praying. But
I think a little bit less than that. Opposite of that. I think that the blood of Jesus is pled over this president, and that God is giving him discernment. And there are many people who are praying. So I'm praying for this president. But I think what has happened to the country as America as a whole is applicable to what you're talking about.
And it's the reason why I say about people praying for the president. The Bible says that we're supposed to pray for those who are in authority, whether you like them or not.
I agree.
The Bible says, you asked me, Romans 13:1, it says only God elevates to power. So if only God elevates to power and only God can give power.
But God needs vessels to do that. God can't give power if his vessels don't adhere to his word.
Again, but when God allows it, because he's sovereign, he does what he chooses, he allows it. But with that said, he also gives man dominion. And right now in this 2020 election, we need to understand we need God's grace for one more chance. And that's Donald J. Trump. Because it is my belief to my core that should, by accident, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris be elected as president of the United States of America, the freedom that we have been blessed with over my lifetime will change forever. So if you don't like masks, if you don't like pandemic, if you don't like what you see, play with God. Because the whole Democrat platform is anti-God.
Absolutely.
To its root.
But look how God is moving. The evil people are dying off, and now your Supreme Court is being ran by God people. I'm just saying. They're going to be trying to do stuff, and them Christians on the top are going to go,
Shirley, I want to do this again before election.
Oh no! Look, you got me out of my hole. Everybody's asking me to do videos. I don't want to do nothing. I'm enjoying. This life has been wonderful. I've enjoyed watching everybody lose their mind during this political era. I have been quiet
because they need to hear us. We're going to bring some other women in at the same time, but they need to hear Black women talking about these things. They need to hear Black people talking about these things. The world needs to hear our voice.
The world has heard my voice several times. They can go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
No. Right now is between now and Tuesday.
I will think about it.
This is not the time
I will think about it
and do nothing. He said, just stay on the air during until November 3rd.
I'll think about it because I've got other people pulling. I might do 1 week and that's it. So if y'all want me, I got people calling, Dinah's, everybody, at T-West, everybody. I'm just like, y'all have fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm happy and loving life and enjoying watching everybody else lose their mind.
Okay, but we have work to do.
We've had work to do. I've been doing work. Let somebody else do the work. There's some great people out there.
No, that's not.
You got your famous girl, Candace, someone out there. She calls herself doing the work.
I can say this to you. I'll put it to you like this.
She get a check.
The pastor, I don't know how you retire.
Oh, you're funny.
So when you're called to do something, you can't retire prematurely when you're called to do. You just got to do what you do.
People can go to YouTube. I've got great videos. Great videos.
Live conversation works well. And
I've done live conversation over and over. The problem is that people like me are raw and real. And they like to promote people who are subhuman who really don't want to talk about Black Lives Matter issues. They're not. My prayer for this president is that he gets real Black people around him. There's nobody in this administration but a couple of people. I don't want to say them in names because I don't want to out them. Who are real for this president. The rest of them are threatened. The non-threatening Negroes work for Trump. The non-threatening Negroes. But the real Negroes would have sat with him and said, President Trump, there is a problem within the Black community. Here's the problem, his solution. You just can't say throw money out there like you said, because that money won't get to them. Why? It's because of people like Nancy Pelosi. Look at the people right now. Cut the check, sign the check, bitch. She won't do it because she wants to feed every other immigrant and everybody else. And then you have Black people helping these foreign people. Anti-American people, anti-American, anti-God people. If you're anti-American, anti-God, vote for Biden because that is what he's going to instill. No mercy, no grace. He didn't give you mercy and grace when he said, 3 strikes you're out. When he called Black people super predators, Trump says, you call Black people super predators. Look, I said that on CNN with Don Lemon in 2016, right towards the end of our interview. He says, would you like to say anything else? He thought I was going to be ice cream and candy. I said, by the way, Hillary Clinton called Black people super predators. He was scrambling. The producers were in his ear. Look at that interview. And he said, you can't cut with that. You got to bring that woman back. Then they wanted us back on. I told the kids, I said, no, we left our mark. We're not going to be running around. That whole week, we never slept or eat that much. People were pulling left and right, my family and my children. So no, I'm done. That's why there's no money coming to me. They're giving millions of dollars to Candace Owens. They're giving millions of dollars to Katrina Pearson and all these other people. But people like me and you, ain't nobody cutting a check. Ain't nobody my Cash App ain't dinged at all today. Why? Because people don't value what we bring to the table. So I'm supposed to lay my life on the soul for these people? Girl, please.
Shirley, let me explain this to you publicly.
I'm gonna have me some Kool-Aid and sit back.
No, Shirley. Let me explain.
Cherry Kool-Aid. Cherry, not grape.
I will say this to you publicly, and social media is once you say it, it's got to be public. It is very hard for people to give people resources that they cannot control. Uncontrollable people have never been popular because people like people to follow. They don't like leaders. And when you speak out loud and you say things that can be somewhat uncomfortable and candid,
I agree.
That makes you uncontrollable because you speak real truth to power. So
I should be a victim for what? Because I become the victim in this.
It's not you being.
Oh, absolutely. When people like me and you, we put ourselves out there, there's no resources coming. I could be making money now. But instead, I'm sacrificing my time to educate people about what goes on in politics. Well, I've done that. I could be making money now. I'm going back to making money. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not going to sit back and pander to people who say, I love you, Shirley, you're great, but you're not cutting the check. My Cash App still ain't done enough right now. In order for me to give my time and energy, I need resources. If you see me come out whole, trust me, someone had cut a check. If you see me come out of my hole, I came out of check.
You know, I've been saying ho no mo for the whole year. But the election is too important.
We got 6 days. People have already made their mind up. They said they have more absentee registered voters than they've ever had in the last couple of elections.
150 million people have, I believe, already voted.
Right. They've already made their decision.
And which is some crazy number above 2016.
That's correct.
But I'm sorry, that number was wrong. They said it looks like 150 million people are going to vote by the time we get to election day.
Okay.
But when I say this, the soul of a nation, in which I agree with Biden, because I've been saying it all year long, is in the hands of the American people. And people like you and I our voices need to be heard right now. So even when he wins, They need to know they were wrong. They need to know why we support Donald J. Trump. They need to know why. I know we don't like his Twitter. I know that he is unconventional. And we need to understand you're not going to find a television president. Everybody's looking for a Hollywood president because that's all they know about presidents. They've not read the presidential archive of the crazy presidents of the past. And nor did the crazy presidents of the past have social media. Because if you knew who they were, you would have not elected any of them, Republican or Democrat, because all of them are crazy.
I agree.
But between now and Election Day, our future is at stake. And so they don't have to pay me for my future. I'll bark afterwards. But right now,
I admire you, Tracy.
I gotta get it done.
Get it done, girl. Go ahead. I'm cheering you on.
No, because I'm taking you with me.
Oh, hell no,
my
nigga.
girl.
I'm going to work. I'm going to make some money. I ain't going to be homeless. I'm in California. They want us all homeless, including me. I can't do it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at all this. God, come on, man. You don't want it on the street.
Listen, God kept you here, is keeping you here.
For a reason to stay off the street. Vote Trump.
Off the street, but it's for you to be with us and be with me.
I am so with you in spirit and soul, sister. I will come on your show anytime you want. Until we get resources to really let our voices be known and heard. Until the right black celebrities come into play. I thank God for Ice Cube. He's waking up. Fox Soul got some crazy black liberal women on there making fun of the president and his hair. See all that kind of stuff. And then they're not, this is the problem. Let me tell you what the problem is, Trace. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. And I know I'm going to be friendly and popular for this, but I'm going to tell you the real truth. How are these people too damn ignorant for me to talk to? I'm tired of ignorant people. I don't like ignorant. White, black, ignorant, Indian, Mexican. I'm going to call you, what else? The Chinese, Korean. I'm tired of being politically correct and like everybody. I don't like you people. I don't like you. Don't want to know your mama. Don't want to be your friend. Don't want to take no Facebook picture with you. I don't like you because you're not real and you're uneducated and you stupid. You don't understand what difference between a Republican or a Democrat. You don't understand what liberals. You don't understand progressives. You don't understand a conservative. You don't understand all that. And then you want me to educate you. You need to go home and do your homework before you approach a queen of my level because I will cut you. And then walk away. But guess what? My blade is tired of being cut on some wasted soul. Do your own damn homework and understand politics and then come to me. I don't want to help ignorant people no more. If you ignorant, die. No. As Christian, the Bible said there always will be the poor among you. I don't mind helping people that want to be helped, but these people are just too, they want to argue on ignorant principles. And then when you bring logic to the table, let me finish my thought. When you bring logic to the table, you know what ends up happening? They start attacking you personally. Because they have no intellectual minds to captivate the problems in this country that is historical and how it radiates within our community. And so when you say black people need money, white people don't get it because guess what? They're ignorant too. They didn't study black history. They don't study government and see the stumbling blocks that have been put in place to divide and conquer us. So when we talk about economics and numbers, when you hear from Yvette Cornell and you hear from Tone Talks, when you hear from Tariq Nasheed, or even Boyce Watson's, even if we all agree or disagree, one thing we are black strong. But if black Americans don't wake up to the fact and understand that there are people in this country who are hurting because of their mindset of not being true to who they are, no. So I'm not gonna waste my time trying to educate people who just don't want to educate themselves. I'm on a whole nother atmosphere, another level, and I'm saving my energy for me. I need to make sure that my son stays strong, that we build our businesses. And when the serious elected officials and serious government people can come to me and say, Shirley, would you like to sit down and talk to the president? Would you like to sit down and create a proposed idea? I've put proposals. I've got my proposals. I just won my shot. But no, they give all these other people that. So no, Tracy, it's too much.
It's not too much.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much for me. I'm feeling good. Get my weight down. Listen, get my smiles back.
You look good. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay good. I'm gonna stay good.
Now and Election Day.
Yeah, and then after Election Day, I'm gonna still be good. I'm gonna be watching you. Ooh, take that, friend. Hercules. Tracy and Friends.
But we're going to have to.
Tracy and Friends.
Listen, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to.
Girl, I've been watching DD4L. DD4L got all caught up. I love me some DD4L. Dancing Dolls for life. I've been trying to do moves.
So you gonna start doing TikTok?
No, I've been doing the majorette moves. You know how she be getting them girls with their faces. I love it. I love she makes strong women. I love Diana. I call it the Diana show. Everybody mad. I said, hey, this show ain't about these little girls. It is about Diana. She be looking at the camera, the attitude. I love it. I'm enjoying catching up on my black shows. I don't have to watch politics every day. The problem with politics is like my son said, he says, Mama. You know, and also these roles are changing. I'm no longer the adult. My kids are acting like they the adult over me. She can't do that.
Well, that's because they love you.
Listen, she can't do that. So now I got to go through my sons. And I said, no, she can't fly by herself. She can't do this. So if you see me out of my hole, someone had to cut a check, and I have to always be accommodated by somebody. That's the only reason to get me out of this hole. Because I'm not going to sit back for the BS. And you're going to give money to Candace Owen and the Black Sip people, all these made-up people. See, you don't want me to call these other black people out. I'm going to call them out.
Listen,
they gave look when you went
at their flavor. I'm not mad at them because they got there. I ain't mad.
Yeah, but they just getting shot. I'm mad. Listen, I am mad. You don't have to be mad. I'm mad because they represent it. You got white people.
Candace, Katrina, I don't care who it is. I tell you who I am mad at. I'm mad at every public elected African American.
I'm mad at all of them. Because we are a disenfranchised culture of people, and they are perpetually promoting that by not telling the president the truth.
But again, you can only tell the president. Let me say it this way.
The half truth?
No.
So it's okay to give the president half truth. Come on, girl.
Shirley, let me finish. Hold on. I don't know what they've told him, and I don't know what he's listened to, because I know the people that are around him don't listen either. See, this is my issue. See, I can tell you one thing, but if somebody else comes back and tells you something else, they listen to someone else. And therein lies our problem. We don't get, I don't know who all he listens to, because I don't know their experiences. But what I do know is, because Candace Owens gets money from AFP. She's part of AFP, if I'm not mistaken. And you've got these. I mean, wherever people do is fine. It's good. There's enough to go around. My issue, and mine just need to make sure they understand. You got to keep it real, and I don't know if white folks know what real is.
Listen, you say you got to keep it real. Do you think Candace? Let's drop Candace. Let's jump to Diamond and Silk. Do you think Diamond and Silk represent Black America? Are Black women like Diamond and Silk?
I don't think Diamond and Silk are there to represent Black America.
Oh no, they are. They are. They put on committees. President Trump has put them on committees to represent Black diversity and honey child. Let me tell you something. You look like Amos and Eddie and all that stuff. That's ignorant to me. This is why do you want me to stand behind these kind of women?
Let me say this.
Honey, let me tell you something. All that kind of stuff. Come on, man.
But a character. I don't know.
It's so bad. It's such a bad look for Black women.
Wait a minute. I don't do step and fetching. And I don't do.
Well, you got Amos and Andy in the ear of the president. And then you got the Caribbean girl running his life for him.
Shirley.
What?
Wait a minute. Listen.
You wanted me to be real and honest, and then you want me to stay around. Jesus Lord.
No, I don't. I want you to keep it because you're my girl, and you know you my ride or die.
Okay.
And I'm from
Amos and Andy.
No, but I don't believe there's a place for everyone to do everything. So I don't begrudge anyone from doing what they do, because
I understand that. And I know
Shirley.
Okay, I'm shut up.
You're all right, Trump. Hold on. I'm not gonna begrudge what they do and let them do what they do, and I want them to be successful at what they do.
Of being Amos and Andy for Black America.
Whatever they want to do, if that's what floats their boat, rock on. I'm not going to do that, and I don't have a problem with it.
I'm not going to support that because it affects my life. Their actions affect my people's lives.
But because I don't know I don't know how astute they are politically. I don't.
They are learning as they go. I get it. And they've done a lot of great things to help educate people from their perspective. But me and you both know these are not women who are part of the urban communities. They don't have no street talk. They don't have no street cred. They got no street cred. None of them women do, including Katrina.
Okay, let me ask you this. What Black people do you know that have street cred that you see anywhere doing anything?
You got street cred. Sonny Johnson got street cred. There's a lot of us that are Republicans that have street cred. Okay, I got street cred.
They don't.
I got Dems that speak up for me, and they say, you know what? We don't like Republicans, but we like Shirley. Now,
Republicans don't like street cred.
Well, Republicans are going to lose. They will learn to like street cred because there's going to be enough street cred people running as Republicans in the future. This new generation has street cred. So I wouldn't say Republicans don't like street cred. I would say the RNC don't like street cred.
Okay.
Now you need to clarify that.
Okay, maybe that's a better way to put it.
Because the radical Republicans still live on, and there's a lot of white people who love Shirley. Who's sorry, honey. Let's not get it twisted. Shirley still gonna cut the chicks.
I don't go anywhere and do anything. I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying
the RNC
I don't begrudge any of them. It's just not me.
You're making it seem like I have a grudge. I have no grudges against any of these people.
But this is what I'm saying.
You keep speaking in a manner like I'm saying this person's bad, this person's bad. I didn't say they were bad. I said they don't add value for the plight of Black America. They have no relationships to the people on the ground. They're ass kissers. Someone sitting in my chat room. They're kissing ass. Let's kiss ass. Let's kiss ass. I don't have to kiss your ass because my ass is nice and black and firm and round and sexy, honey. So why would I kiss your white ass that glows in the night? Woo! Mufasa.
You know what?
What?
What am I out of water? And you know what? You have been the same since I don't know how many years it is. I don't know how many years it has been.
Look, y'all, listen to tell you how Tracy is. We were going to these meetings with these Black conservatives. And I don't hold tongue. Tracy's sitting there like, oh God, I know Shirley's gonna say something. Lenny McAllister, oh my God, I know Shirley's gonna say something. I got a question. And then I go right into being Shirley. They're like, oh my God, Shirley, now come on. This is Tracy. I said, well, why are you the calm Negroes when I got people dying on the street? I got money's not getting to the people. Let's cut to the chase. Let's talk about what this is about. Money, numbers, and time. Black people need money. They need numbers and they need time to make a correction. And they need to not be so damn emotional. So no, I'm just enjoying watching everybody drink the Kool-Aid of Biden. If you are a stupid Negro and you vote for Biden, you deserve the outcome of Biden. If you're a stupid white person, Mexican, Italian, Asian, whatever ethnic background you are, and you vote for Biden, you deserve his outcome. Because this man has no credence or value for the embeddlement of American people.
No, I don't want him to vote for Biden because their outcome I got to feel too, and I ain't trying to feel the Biden. Don't get bit by Biden.
Don't get bit by Biden.
Don't get bit by Biden.
There's a snake will bite you with the two-headed snakes, Biden and Harris.
No, I do not want to get bit by Biden. That's a bad bite.
A bad bite.
Bad bite.
So let's say Trump wins. What's going to happen to Black people then? What's next? If you're going to propose now studies and you're going to propose plans, but you're not going to do any executive orders. You know why Trump had to do all these executive orders? Because he had to circumvent Congress. Congress don't even want to help Black people.
Well, Congress never has one to help Black people.
Okay, but you've got Black people in Congress, don't you?
No.
What are they then? They toting flags for who? Or for whom? They got paid off. They all got paid off, girl.
I don't think they got paid off. They ain't got enough money to be paid off. And
Okay.
if they got paid off, that was a cheap trick.
Look, how are you gonna go in with a fifth grade education and come out a millionaire? Look how much money Obama came out with. Look at Maxine Waters come out with all that money.
Okay, let's try this one more time.
Okay.
Let's try this one more time. I don't think they knew what a caucus was. Remember, they named themselves the Congressional Black Caucus.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had asked them anything before the Tea Party, I don't think they knew what caucus meant. Because the Tea Party showed you what a caucus meant.
That's true. Now that is true.
So I don't think anyone in the Black Caucus knew what caucus meant. They were just named a caucus. Because you know as well as I do, the names and the numbers are pre-counted before we go to the floor. And most people, when they go to DC, don't know that their count is already counted before they vote, and they don't even call on them. Because only about 10 people in the room know what's going on half the time.
Look, if you talk about the Black Caucus,
that's what I'm saying. The Black
Caucus right now. Listen, have you ever gone to a Black Caucus convention? Have you ever gone to one of them?
I have gone.
Okay. The recent one I went to was like 2 years ago.
I haven't gone that soon. I've gone, it's like 20 years ago, 10 years
and now they waved the Mexican, not Mexican, the gay flag and the illegal flag. Look, forget the Mexicans. I meant the gay flag. If you go to Camilla Harris' office in California, she has the gay flag, and we know they perpetrate after children. And then you've got the transgender flag that likes to look like My Little Pony people with the pink and the lavenders and stuff, right? These people are getting money. They know what a caucus is. They've ridden off the backs of Black people to utilize a caucus and to get all these laws in place, allowing little kids to go to school and create transgender bathrooms. See, a lot of stuff comes out of California. That's why I know you're sick of hearing me say California. But California is the stomping grounds for the liberal progressive.
That's why we're going to let you guys go to Mexico.
Oh, it's already north of Mexico. The MS-13s are in the pockets of politicians. I mean, we all know this. I told you, I did on my show a couple years back. The MS-13s got $1.5 million is given to the gangbangers to create peace in the community. Look it up in Northern California. Sacramento. Look it up. They gave them $1.5 million to keep peace in the community. City council. Cash, baby. Barack Obama gave them foreign people. Cash. Everybody moved through cash because it's untraceable. It's untraceable if you throw cash out on the streets like that. What about Black people? If you took $1.5 million and gave it to the homeless people, I bet you all of them be gone off the street. And they might be back next Tuesday after they messed it all up. But some of them might have readjusted their lives. You know, in 2020, I was watching TV and it was really interesting. Elizabeth Haxel has a show called You Can Strive and Thrive in 2020. And I believe many Black people and whites as well are changing their lives during COVID. Despite all the negativeness of COVID, there are a lot of people who have woken up and have utilized this money to either move or make changes that they didn't have the resources to do that before. And because of that, I commend those people. So take this opportunity, instead of being negative and down always, to pull and retreat. That's all I've done. I've pulled back and I retreat, and I'm loving life. And I'm tired of everybody asking me, and there's no money on the table for me. There's no opportunity for me to say, hey, I want the right people to hear my voice. They know my voice. They know who I am. But I'm not going to be the cheerleader. Let them other people, and all you're going to do is get nothing out of it. I don't respect Amos and Andy shows, but white people love Amos and Andy.
But are they supposed to be respected? I don't think they're.
Oh, they are. People say, oh, you should hook up with them. I get emails all the time. Oh, you're so good. You should hook up with them. Like, what do I want to be associated with women that really just got into politics 4 years ago, and I've been doing this for decades? Let me ask you this. Did they reach out to us? Have those women reached out to us? Has Diamond and Silk asked you to be on this show?
I can't get a return phone call.
Okay. They've not asked me either. I can't get a return phone call or email. So, but you say, oh, but they're making their coins.
I said,
what did you say?
Place.
They do what?
Said, listen, everyone has their place.
And what place is that? Not to be inclusive with other conservative Black women?
No, Shirley, let me get this out. I am a cook. I bake.
Good for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a good baker.
I want some biscuits when I see you because I ain't mastered that. I want good buttermilk.
Listen. Let me get this out because I don't want this. I want you to hear this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Inside of chocolate chip cookies, there's sugar, there's flour, there's eggs, and there's salt. Chocolate chips and nuts.
Okay.
If you and some baking powder or baking soda, I can't remember the one off the top of my head. If you don't put any salt in the cookie, and you only put a pinch of salt in the cookie, it's insignificant, so you think, but it has a place. Everything has a place within the inside of the order. So Diamond and Silk, I don't follow them. I don't watch them. I've seen what they've done. I know that they support President Trump, and they were early Trumpers, and they came out and he blessed them, and they became Diamond and Silk. Had he not blessed them, they would have still been Silk and Diamond. And so I don't begrudge.
I'm not begrudging them.
Let me use a better word then. I ain't gonna hate they flow. And I want them to get as rich as they possibly can. And if they call me, fine. And if they don't call me, fine. I don't have a problem. All I'm asking is for access. Give me access to resources, and I'll, like James Brown, I'll do it for myself. Because if you want to win and be successful and you don't want to take care of Black America any longer, then you'll call people like Tracy and Shirley. Because eventually you're going to get tired of taking care of those you can't reach. And eventually you're going to have to call me. Because Diamond and Silk and or other people may not be able to do that. So when you get done trying everyone else, eventually you'll have to come back to experience.
And see, I guess
that goes back to sugar. It goes back to cookies. If you want a cookie good, you got to have salt.
I see another side of the moon. White Americans always love to control Black people. They have, and they do today. And they love to control the scenario, and they love to control the voice. So they choose people who they can control, that control our voice. Those people represent our voice. This is not a personal attack about these women. This is about their actions and their voices that are not penetrating our community.
Explain what you just said about people, about them wanting to control the voice and the paradigm, and not the paradigm, but control the voice.
Historically, white America has always changed our voice. It goes back to once Lincoln died, Special Order number 15, if you look it up through General Sherman, was allowing us to create our own utopia. The Freedmen Bureau was going to be where we could have our own utopia, our own land. But once Lincoln died, the next president who came in broke that up and created a bank called the Freedmen Bureau Bank. Then that money that was supposed to be allocated for us to work and build, and we were growing, whites came and took it. Whites took our land. Whites take our voice. Whites opened up the floodgates for illegals to replace the whites being our rapists. And now immigrants and illegals and migrants take everything. They own all the stores, the markets, the gas station, the cleaners. It's all cultivated by different cultures. Now the Africans are coming in and they're grabbing their piece of the pie. But what about the African-American descendant of slaves? What about Black America? How do we deal with them? We'll put people in front, just like the Democrats do. They put the Jesse Jacksons, they put the Al Sharptons. There are Democrats who do not like those people. They don't like that voice. They don't like that Don Lemon voice. I can tell you Democrats right now say, oh no, there's nothing but fronts. They create these fronts and these voices. Who's another front? Diamond and Silk, Katrina Pearson. They're all fronts. I meet these women. Let me finish my thought. And they put these people in the front of the camera. I'm talking about now. Omarosa's a whole nother buffoonery. Watch my YouTube channel where I said Omarosa buffoonery, and then you guys can deal with that issue. But she's out of the picture. She was stupid. Stupid woman. Don't want to talk about her. But the women who are in the front right now are Diamond and Silk and Katrina Pearson. What's the problem with these women? Where's the black man? Where's the black man? Everybody else has a man and a woman. You see elected officials, they talk about their spouses. They talk about their spouses. Sometimes you'll see them with their children and their family. Why do we not see these women with children? Why do we not see these children, women? Why aren't the RNC promoting a black family? We don't see the black family. That tells me that the leaders involved are not really trying to bring black people together, because you need a black man. I love black men. Real chocolate, dark, hungry black men. They can be light-skinned black men. But I want an alpha in control with an alpha woman. But instead, you got these poised, put together women, or you got these sisters all put together doing all this. Where is your man, girl? Where's your man? Where's the man at? We don't see men with these women.
I'm trying to find a man. Well,
I need a black woman that's going to support an alpha black male. Then I respect you more. I don't want these ministers. I'm sick of these Jesus ministers. I ain't talking about them. That's a whole nother story.
I'm a single black woman without a man, and
yeah, but you love black men, right? Do you love black men? Do you love your mother?
I love.
Do you love black family? Okay, then stop putting your name in the equation. Stop it. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
And I don't do kids either.
Okay, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who are supposed to represent Black America. You don't represent Black America. I don't represent Black America. I'm single too. Okay, so I'm not representing Black America. Okay.
So who represents Black America?
Black America needs to have a face of family people, of men and women working together. Instead, we have from this administration a bunch of women and a bunch of Jesus men. And they ain't really for Jesus. They're about getting that opportunity check for themselves.
Where are they?
Yeah, where are they? Tell me.
I mean, are they out there? I mean, where are the black family men? Are the black men that are family? Where are they?
They've always been there. There's many of them.
Are they conservatives?
They're conservatives, yes.
Are they supporting Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Where are they?
They're there. They don't put them on the front line.
But do we know where to find them?
Of course.
How?
Do they know where? Can they find us? Again, we're not the ones that they want to promote. The promotion out there are people who are non-threatening, who are Stepford wives type of women who are out there on the front line. These Black Lives Matter people are Blacks for Trump, are Stepford people. They look at the Stepford wives, the hair, the makeup, the look. It's all that. It's all that in the cookie jar. So I want to see this platinum plan turn into an executive order. And I want some clarification of the Blacks, our true Blacks, historical Blacks in this country get that money. Everybody once you start allocating money out to Black people, there's those other people say, well, I'm Black too. They're quick to come to my money.
Yeah,
I can't go to the Pacific Islanders and the Chinese and the Native Americans and take their money. But they can come to mine because you say we're minorities, but they're not. Come on now. I'm not fronting for these people. I don't like having these people anyway, and I don't have to like them. That's why I work for a living. I don't have to like them. Sad day.
It's a good day. It's a good day, Shirley. Because we're going to win.
Oh, Trump's going to win, but I don't know if Black people are going to win. I think we're winning by we're waking up and we're making a decision by putting a better person in office. Look. You know why I say that? Hold on, Tracy. Let me finish my thought. You weren't a Trump supporter at the beginning, and I was. Trump said he's going to create a new deal for Black America. jobs, education, schools, and the black people fought him all the way. The first people that Trump met with was the CBC. And they came up with a proposal and they met with President Trump, and he says, we've got a lot to lose. He said, let me review your proposal, which he did. This is 2016. We're moving into 2017, the early part of that year. I followed this whole story. I did a whole thing on my Facebook page and my YouTube about this. They said, we've got a lot to lose. They gave a proposal. I still have a copy of that proposal. Anybody wants to email me, they can have a copy of it, CBC. Then after he read it, he says, I'd like to sit back and meet with you again. He says, they said, we don't want anything from you. The Black Caucus stood as the liaison for Black America and told the president of these United States that Black people don't need nothing. But guess who had their hand up real loud? The Latinos. The Latin conquerors, what's it called? Look it up on my page. The Latins had their own caucus, their own people. And they had Pence the first year, and the president gave them everything they wanted. Everything they wanted. Wells Fargo gave the Latinos everything they wanted. But you know who we have? The Black Caucus became a hedgeway of blocking the money for us. Block.
Can I ask you a question?
Block.
No, let me ask you a question. And why go to the caucus when the caucus didn't support? They didn't come to his inauguration.
Well, you could ask Omarosa Manigault for that. She's not a descendant of slaves. I think maybe one side of her is, but she doesn't practice. I don't know. She at her wedding and everything. She really does not support the descendants of slaves.
Listen, if she was sitting in the next. Her family was sitting in the next row next to mine. She just as much of a descendant of a slave as the rest of us. A lot of us don't want to declare our descendants and where we come from.
Well, she at her wedding wore her African garment. She's all into her African side of her, which I'm not criticizing. We all have African in me. Trust me, I've done my DNA. I have a 90% African in me, and the majority of me is Nigerian. So I have Nigerian in me, and Conga, and all these other things in me. I love my people, but I am a descendant of slaves.
Chinese.
Huh? I got Chinese in me. Yeah. I have Mongolian in me. Is that funny? That's that word. I have Mongolian. I'm like, ooh, Mongolian. Okay, maybe if I claim to be Mongolian, I get a check. Give me a check. I have a lot of Indian in me. I'm like 1.3. That's a lot. I want a check. I'm telling you, cut the check. Look, clear your conscience, white America. Cut a check. Clear your conscience. Cut a check.
You're a special lady.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a freed Negro. Freedman. Like we said, what's our boy who's a comic? He's free. He walked away, he was free. Be a freeman. But unless we get these hedges that won't allow us to get the money, like the Black Caucus and some of these Black conservatives, oh, no. No. We don't need no reparations. The Black people don't need reparations. What is reparations when everybody else is getting the word? That's just a word. That's all it is. Because reparations transpires into liquidity, money, assets, land, assets, certain citizenship rights. You come here now, you can bring your 5 billion children from China and Mexico. That empowers you to train them and to build growth, to dismantle Black Americans' families through government through the years and allow other people to come in with their families. That's a setup by the federal government. That's all that is.
I'm going to bed.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Let us say a sermon for today. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Snapchat. Thank you, my family on YouTube, those who've stayed in consistently. I'm going to stay on a little longer on my channel on YouTube to close it out. But Tracy, thank you for having me on your show. I think you're amazing.
Always.
Oh, gosh. If you guys are not following Tracy's and Friends, please follow her. She is wonderful. Share this video on your platforms, Facebook, Twitter. Share this video. We want President Trump reelected, and we want the conversations to be raw and real, and that's what you get from both of us.
Yeah, and it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Hey, guys, thank you for listening to Tracy and Friends. I'm here. You were there. Follow us. Vote for the president. I know he may not be a Hollywood president, and I say this sincerely. Most of us were raised on television, and television showed us what we thought a president was. There is no man that was perfect except for Jesus Christ. And now we need to have a leader. And I believe with all my heart, the leader for the 21st century is Donald J. Trump. And I truly believe if you get bit by Biden, we're going to feel it for a long time. God bless you. We'll be back again. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a show. So I'm looking forward to it. God, I don't know why I do this on Facebook. It's like radio. I'm sorry. I got bad habits. I'll see you then.
Love you, Tracy. Thanks for having me.
Love you too.
Good night, family.
Hold on, Shirley.
Hey guys, I just wanted to come back on and thank you guys so much for your support, your love. I know we were on. See who was on. I didn't get to see who was here. Dave was in. I saw Tomorrow in. Hey T, thank you for coming on. Lisa, I thank you guys so much. Mona came in and moderated. Thank you so much. I was just trying to keep it raw and real with her. I mean, everybody wants me to come on and be on their show and come on. If Trump don't win, something wrong with this country. We need President Trump. We need President Trump to win. We need President Trump's voice out there. I wanted to show you this one video though, because I told her that these people are in California and they are waving the Mexican flag. So I'm going to show you my Facebook page because I posted that on my Facebook page. I wanted to show you this video because all they're doing is driving around town and they are flying these damn Mexican flags. And let's see. I've got to hold on. Let me get this so now that you guys can hold on. Let me find it, and then when I find it, then you guys can see it. So let me go to my page. Let me get this so you guys can see it now, because I really want you to see how these people are. Oops. how these people are. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did. Okay, now you see I'm on Facebook. That's Facebook. But this right here, when I click on this article, I want you to see this. Okay, so downtown looters. See, there's only 6% blacks living in California.
Has the story.
Listen.
Here we are again, another championship in Los Angeles and another night of damage on the streets of LA. And some wonder if it's also damaged the reputation of this sports town. The beauty of victory that became a beast of destruction.
These are Mexicans.
Mostly downtown and in East LA, celebrating the Dodgers World
See the
Series win,
Mexicans?
turned into busted storefronts, busted patrol cars, and looting. This Foot Locker hit before during protests. Last night, the manager says every shoe was taken except the single shoes on the display.
I think it's just a bunch of spoiled children that don't know the meaning of grace. They should look it up.
The damage, extensive. Arresting those who caused it,
Mexican.
not so much. LAPD says it charged 4 people with looting, 3 with reckless driving, and 1 with assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. 3 officers with minor injuries last night. In East LA, the sheriff's department says it arrested 10 people for failing to disperse.
Lucrative business with all this damage.
Josue Morales says he doesn't mind the business to clean up, but as an Angelino himself says there should be better ways to celebrate.
There's so many causes now and so many things going on right now. The Black Lives Matter with sports. It's just that it's almost becoming a habit down here. People destroying instead of putting back up and building the right way. Beyond ridiculous.
Now I want you to notice the people cleaning up are Mexican. The people working the city are Mexican. These are all Latinos. They don't hire black people in California. Now Tracy says she don't see these videos. I want you to see this video. I just want you to see it.
Ridiculous. I mean, we can have a pandemic, we can have George Floyd riots, we can have everything, but what brings them out in force is the Dodgers and the Lakers championships.
Steve Kaplan lives downtown. He's worried about a possible trifecta in local sports.
So now we're just waiting for the Rams. So if the Rams can win, then I think they pretty much have to rebuild Los Angeles.
A lot.
So let me get this straight. If the Rams win and the Dodgers win, it gives the people the right to do all this crazy rioting and to destroy the city. Why do we not have law and order in our country? Why do we not have it in the state of California? Because California is now northern Mexico. That's what it is. California is northern Mexico.
A lot of cleanup that still has to be done, and still no word yet on just how much damage, money-wise, has been caused. Reporting in downtown LA, I'm John Kennedy's Klimak, NBC4 News.
So hold on. Hold on. Okay.
Hey, I'm Melissa King. Do you want to be the chief
Okay, I'm gonna reboot
new
this
officer
again.
for Top Ramen?
Kaddish Klimak has the story.
Hold on.
Here we are again, another championship in Los Angeles and another night of damage on the streets of LA. And some wonder
Something
if it's
I
also
didn't-
damaged the
I wanna show
reputation
you.
of this sports town. The beauty of victory.
Stop. It was right there. Do you see it? Hold on. Watch. See them? See this right here? See that right there? They're flying Mexican flags. See that flag? And then you see the Lakers flag. I mean, not the Lakers, the Dodgers flag. Watch.
The beauty of victory.
See that flag? They fly their flags up and down the street on cars and stuff. You see that Mexican flag? You guys see that in the chat room?
That became a beast of destruction. Mostly downtown and in East LA, celebrating the Dodgers World Series win, turned into busted storefronts, busted patrol cars, and looting. This Foot Locker hit before during protests. Last night, the manager says every shoe was taken except the single shoes on the display.
So you can't blame black people for this. That's all I'm saying. You can't sit back and blame Black America. I'm done with this. Stop. Here, we stopped it. You can't blame Black America for this craziness going on in this country. You just can't. What is happening in this country is because we have irresponsible leaders in this country running it, right? We know what's going on. We know that the libs run these crazy inner cities, and they run the crazy elected officials, and they have their inside trading. So all I can tell you is this: you should pray. You should bless your house. You should plead the blood. Now, many of you guys may not be Christians, but I'm telling you what you need to do is to get your own life in order. Because even with Trump being reelected, this is not going to change. Something needs to happen to let people know that we as Americans don't operate in this manner. But they've flooded the gates with so many illegals and immigrants. It's not a good thing. Look, I'm not out of my hole. I'm enjoying my life just watching you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm alive. I want to show that I'm alive. And so many people ask me, are you coming back on? No, I'm not going to come back on. You don't need me. You've got other people who are out there. T. West is live right now. Please go to his channel and watch him. Go watch T. West on Afro Synergy News right now on YouTube. Go to his channel. Go to Phil from the Advice Show. There's some wonderful people out there. Lovely T is talking about gossip and a little politics. I love her. I love her. There's a lot of great people who are out there who are blossoming, who's growing, who have great voices. I want you to follow those people. Sonny Johnson on Sirius Radio. Follow Sonny. Tracy and Friends. Follow Tracy. Those people have resources going to them. I do not. And I refuse to be a broke Black woman. So I'm going back to work, which is what I do. I'm going back heavily into my real estate. I'm going back heavily into my investment with my children. And that makes me happy. Being part of the political world that's not appreciative of me, of what I contribute, instead of giving money to all these other people and they say, I'm jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm jealous of not having the money. Unlike Tracy saying she's not mad at them. I'm not mad at them either. But don't pull me into this game and not allocate any funds to me or my family. I've done my part. I'll come in when I want to. If I don't want to, I'm going to be like the brother who's a comedian. I'm a freed man. I'm a freed woman. But I really want more Black men to have a voice. I want more alpha Black men on the front line. I love my people, but I want more Black men to have a voice. And you need to put a real Black man, not these little witsy, squilly little Black men about 5'2" or 5'8". I want an alpha Black man with a beautiful Black woman in front of that camera to speak for a nation of families that are not being spoken for. Until we see that more in this country, we see us more divided and they just want strong Black women out there. That's not real Black America. You can't make Blacks without a man. You can't make Blacks without a Black woman. You can't make real Black people who are descendant of Negro slaves. Those are the real foundational people in this country. Until there's a clarification of the Negro, what is Black and who are Black, then we're not going to have an understanding of how money should be allocated. There needs to be a clarification of that money. And if that clarification is not there, then we're failing as a nation of people. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I'll come in when I feel like it. If I don't, remember to vote for President Trump. He's a great man with a great mission, and let him have that mission and continue to grow to bring changes within America. Love you guys and good night.